Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, Say What's Real TV. This review is for Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 5, Episode 20, What Goes Around. So we open up the episode where we left off last week when Sabrina went over to Danny's and found a butt-naked Q coming out the bathroom. They both are shocked to see each other, and Danny was like, well, how do y'all know each other? Did you sleep with her? And he was like, no, both of them screaming no at the same time. So Sabrina going through all these dramatics, and instead of her just saying what it was, she ends up telling Danny, no, he sleeps with Maurice. He's the one that robbed the bank, and why they all got in trouble. Danny is like repulsed. She is sick to her stomach. Like, you mean to tell me I slept with somebody that slept with Maurice? She was like, I need a gun. I need a gun. And Sabrina was like, what, you gonna shoot him? She was like, no, I need it for myself. She like, I need it for myself. She couldn't believe it. She told him, she said, look, you gotta go. You're gonna have to get up the hell from up out of here. So Q was like, let me just go put my clothes on. They in the bathroom. Sabrina over there screaming to the top of her lungs. Q was like, girl, calm down. So Sabrina asks Danny how does she know Q, and she tells her again that they work together at the airport. So Sabrina was like, well, how could he get a job there? So Danny thought about it for a minute, and she was like, I bet Logan got him the job. So Sabrina says, you mean you didn't put two and two together, looking at Danny like Danny was stupid as hell, and Danny was looking like, and how was I supposed to do that? So Sabrina says, oh, he didn't tell you his name was Q? She said, no, he told me his name was Quincy. So Sabrina looking at Danny like, duh, like his name starts with the Q, like you should have figured that out. Like, girl, Sabrina, you sound dumb, girl. Stop. Don't do that. So anyway, Danny was like, she could not believe that she slept with somebody that Maurice had slept with. She can't seem to get over that. So Sabrina was like, well, did you use protection? She told her yes, but it doesn't make her feel any better. And Sabrina basically was letting her know that she needed to stop doing all of that, sleeping around like this. And Danny was like, I know, I gotta stop. Don't kick me when I'm already down. I feel bad enough. So then she yelling for Q to bring his butt from out the bathroom. So he come out there. Q is just like a jokester. Q don't give a damn. They yelling at him, screaming. He's like, relax, talking about, I'll see you at work. Like, dude, Q don't give a damn. You hear me? He do not care. So Danny getting ready to try to beat his behind, and Sabrina tried to hold her back, and Q was like, Sabrina, get your girl, get your girl. And then after all of that, the fool still asks, can he get some breakfast? So they chase this fool out the door, and Danny yells out, and your balls need some conditioner. I'm like, that goddamn daddy is stupid as hell. Girl, how you know his balls need conditioner, girl? So Danny basically lets Sabrina know that she should have at least told her Q's name, I guess, earlier on. But hell, you should have been asking, like, who is this got y'all in trouble? Like, that's just like normal conversation. Like, girl, who is this person that Maurice messing with that done got y'all in trouble? But anyway, so Sabrina was like, we need to talk. And Danny's like, she doesn't want to talk to the girl. She doesn't want to lecture. She doesn't need an intervention. Sabrina brings up college and how Danny was rotating them out. And she wanted to just ask her why she's doing this again. And Danny told her because she wants to. She says she's single. She's not married. She says she's not ready to be married. She says she is young. Life is short. FOMO. And, I feel like Danny is lonely. I think she uses the sex, the humor as a deflection of how she really feels deep down. But, hey, it is what it is. So she ends up telling Sabrina, don't tell the girls. And Sabrina, to her face, at least told her, I am going to tell the girls. So at least she told her that to her face. Like, it ain't no surprise. I ain't backstabbing you. I ain't gossiping, and I ain't talking behind your back. I am going to tell them. So she tells her to, go call Andy so they can get Maurice taken care of. And she was on her way to work. And Sabrina let it be known that she needed to change them sheets because for some odd reason, Danny act like she was making her bed up. Like, girl, if you don't pull them sheets up off that bed, girl, after you done had Jonah, Preston, and Q all up in them sheets. Danny. So we go over there to Andy's office and she's greeted by Linda with some mail and some flowers. And Linda tells her that Paris sent them, which we haven't seen Paris in months of Sunday. So why are we bringing up Paris all of a sudden out of the blue? So I guess heading into season 6, Paris is coming back, I guess. So she says, aren't they lovely? I know the lady who sells them on the street. Andy looks at her like, on the street? Like, no ma'am. Girl, Andy, you're not too good for flowers on the street, hon. Gary ain't sent your ass none, so what difference does it make where they came from? So she gonna tell the lady, you know what? Since you know the lady, you can have these and they look so well with what you have on or something like that. The lady, Miss Linda, she was so happy to get the little flowers. Andy got her nose so far up in the air, it don't make no doggone sense. It was the thought that counts, be grateful. We see Andy, she goes into Robin's office and notices that he's not looking right, so she asks him, is he okay? So he tells her that her client called him. And of course, they're doing all this back and forth stuff, unnecessary, long, drawn out type dialogue. And I want to know why every time Andy and Robin talk about the loan shark guy, they never say his name. If it wasn't for Gary last week, we wouldn't know the guy's name. So it's always your client. Come on now. Anyway, he said that the guy called him and said that he was going to charge him more interest, but if he wanted to give the money back, he'll only charge him 10%. So Robin wanted to ask Andy, is she working with Gary? Andy can't believe he's asking her such a thing. Like, oh, why would I be working with Gary? Maybe because you're sleeping with him and you're the one that gave me the guy's number in the first place. Like, how else would Gary know that? Like, that's a logical question, Andy. Logical. So she goes to tell him basically how she used him because she needed to make partner, and Hayden and Gary, they're no help to her trying to make partner. They only making it worse for her. This is all paraphrasing, but hey, so she says she wouldn't do that. She's not working against him, and threw out there that he was the asshole. And of course he agrees, yeah, I know. Like, him being an asshole that one time in his office reading your ass has nothing to do with you using him, girl. And another thing with Robin, a couple of episodes back, you told Andy that if you lost this company, that you had other businesses and you would be fine. So why are we doing all of this? What is all of this? Why? If you will be fine, let the shit go and let's move the hell on. So Robin attempts to tell Andy what his plans are, and she stops him and lets him know, look, don't tell me anything, because if your plans don't work out like you want them to, I don't need you blaming me for anything. So she gets up to leave, and he tells her, like, Andy, you're a lawyer, right? Like, you shouldn't be, that sensitive. It's a fair question. And tells her he didn't mean to make her upset. She said that she's basically in an awkward position because he's her boss and she slept with him. And she just really wants to try to be careful and cautious. And also let him know that, going forward, whatever it is he's trying to do, she apologized for trying to help him out, but he's on his own from here on out. We head over there to Sabrina's, and of course Calvin comes over, and Sabrina is elated. She's happy. She comes in, she tells him that everything worked out. Maurice is supposed to be getting out. Calvin seems to be in his feelings a little bit, I guess, because Bayo was the one that helped get him out. And basically that Sabrina let him know that, she may go out on a date with him. So he thinks that Bayo's trying to buy her, and she was like, she doesn't, he's just trying to help her out. So she brings up Q and tells him that they have to do something about him and that she saw him. But I was glad that she did not tell Calvin where she saw Q at. Like, at least keep that amongst the girls. Like, You don't have to tell everything. So I appreciate the fact that Sabrina didn't tell where she saw Q at and what happened. So that was good. So Maurice ended up calling and Calvin put him on speaker and they let him know that he should be getting out soon because Bio put up the money. And of course, we got to go through all the antics with Maurice and him talking about how his throat needs to be sore behind Bio. And if a man putting up that kind of money for him, his throat got to be sore. And told Sabrina, like, whatever she did, like his good Judy put out, talk about Calvin mad because Sabrina did what she needed to do to get him out of jail, rubbing it in Calvin's face, making Calvin think that she done slept with Bio to get the money, you know. And he set up there flirting with one of the little inmates in there while he on the phone talk about people trying to take his virginity and all this and that, and then had the man choke him out. Child, he did tell her he loved her and that everything was his fault, and he did thank them or whatever. But I noticed that we haven't heard in a couple of weeks how, all that other talk. We getting the more positive side of him now, or the old Maurice, instead of all that down in the dumps like he getting ready to hurt himself type talk. We haven't heard that since he got his little cellmate. So we go back over to Andy's office and Fatima comes in with coffee, tells Andy she looks stressed out or whatever. Andy says she's good. So she asks Fatima how was her night, where'd she end up? So Fatima told her that she went home to Zach and they had a come to Jesus moment, which really I don't know where she got that from, but we'll roll with it. Then Fatima asks about Karen. Why is she asking about Karen? I don't know. So Andy tells her that she ended up apologizing, and Fatima seemed like she was shocked to know that. First of all, Fatima, you were standing right there when Karen first walked in and apologized in the first place. You stood there the whole time. Like, what are y'all talking about? You were there with your arms folded listening. So Andy brings up moving forward, and she tells Fatima that she looked over the child support papers and felt like Zach was being very generous in his offer and wanted to know if Fatima had anything to do with it. And Fatima told her no, that was all his doing. And she told her, look, I'm going to have Karen go ahead and sign the papers. Now, again, I'm not quite sure what is going on with the editing of different scenes, but they are not flowing like they should for me. Now, Andy, you received the papers from Karen in the restaurant. Karen told you she already signed the papers. You got mad at Karen because you felt like you should have already looked over the paperwork before she put pen to paper. Now we're acting like that didn't happen. Like all these different scenes in the last 2 weeks, the characters, Fatima and Andy, make it seem like things have not happened when we already seen it play out. And I'm confused at that. Like, am I the only one noticing this? As they're talking, they see Hayden and Tamara outside the office window, and they're like, what's up with that? So Fatima was like, she's damn sure gonna find out. So Andy brought up the number that she texted her this morning concerning Maurice, and Fatima was like, what number? So she looks at her phone and she sees that she did miss a text, and they decide that it was because they were having that come to Jesus. So Fatima says something like, oh, I was having a rough morning. And I was trying to figure out how was Fatima's morning rough? She woke up to Zach with coffee ready for her and begging and pleading. So what was rough about it besides you chastising him? So we go over there to Zach's, and he gets a phone call from Fatima, and she tells him that it's a go for the paperwork that Andy looked over, and she's going to give it to Karen for her to sign. But now Fatima wants Zach to go over to apologize to Karen and claim something about Karen got him by the balls and don't play her for a fool. I don't know what the hell Fatima's talking about. But she's basically demanding Zach to go and apologize, which he should apologize to Karen. He was dead wrong for the way he acted in the restaurant. I have no issues with that. But what I got an issue with is Fatima, the audacity of it all for her to want him to go apologize for something, and she has yet to apologize to Zach. But since Zach don't give a damn, if he like it, I love it. I'm done with it, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna try to anyway. But that just really irks me for you to be telling somebody to do something that you wouldn't even do. So, whatever. So I don't know why she want him to go over there so bad. He says, oh, so you want me to go over there? You not worried about nobody taking a picture? She's like, oh, that's fair, but I trust you. Girl, you said that the last time. And you handled that situation totally wrong when you came and stepped to him and confronted him about it. But, y'all didn't talk about it. You didn't address it. You swept that under the rug. So we're going to move on. So Zach agreed to go ahead and apologize and told her, and well, she told him, after you go see Karen, then you can come see me for lunch. So Hayden and Gary, they go into Robin's office acting all smug and arrogant, thinking they got it on lock about getting this company. So they tell Robin, after clowning him about how he got the money, because he said, yes, I raised it. They know he didn't raise the money. So anyway, they said that the partners raised the amount of the money and that now he needs to come up with an additional $3 million. So Hayden says that the contract states that you have to match the funds the same day. Robin tells them that the contract also states that paragraph 3 says within a reasonable amount of time. So now they looking all crazy in the face. And Hayden asks him, well, what's a reasonable amount of time? And Robin says 30 days. And Hayden busts out laughing like, oh, that's not going to happen. Robin got tired of dealing with all the foolishness, so he said, look, I'll have the money today by 5 o'clock. So they looking all crazy in the face, and he basically tells them to get out of his office, and he'll see them later at 5. And he just stares and watches them walk away. I don't know, something is weird about Robin lately. I don't know really what's going on with him, but do you guys think he's going to have the money at 5, or will something else be going on? So Fatima went up to the secretary, Linda, to ask her where Tamara was, and she said that she was in the break room, that Hayden had her filling out an application. And Fatima was like, an application for what? She told her a secretary. And so she was like, well, if you see Hayden coming around, let me know. So she goes off to find Tamara. So Fatima get in the break room with her, and Tamara was like, I know you want to know what I'm doing here. And she was like, yeah. She was like, well, he's trying to get me a job. And Fatima said, girl, you cannot work here. Like, why are you filling out the application? You got to come up with some kind of excuse, because this not it. You can't work here. We got to stick to the plan. Like, have you even looked at his calendar? She was like, yeah, he's meeting with Heather. She was like, what time? Tamara told her, in about an hour. She said, look, I got you. I'm still stuck on the plan. So Fatima basically let her know she needed to throw that application in the trash. So the receptionist, Linda, comes in to get Fatima, and Tamara reassures Fatima that she got her. Everything gonna be straight. So when Fatima leaves, Tamara's like, shit, I'm finna get all this money. I'm getting all this money. And she trying to fill the application out and can't even spell secretary. She going over it. I'm like, oh my God, girl, don't even bother. I can't understand why Fatima keep talking to this girl in the break room and where everybody can see them. Like, girl, even if Linda saw Hayden, by the time she got to you, y'all gonna be caught. That's crazy. So Fatima takes Sabrina into Andy's office, and they sit down, and she tells her that Maurice's paperwork has been put in, and it may take a while for him to get out. So of course Sabrina is thanking her for everything, and she tells Andy that she needs to be checking on Danny. So Andy was like, well, what does she do now? Sabrina tells her that she saw her with Q at her house, and I wasn't even aware that Andy even knew who Q was. So she really didn't elaborate like she knew who Q was, because she was giving expressions like, who, what? Like, oh, that Q, and I don't think Andy know who in the hell Q is, but whatever. So anyway, they decided that they were going to go back to Danny's house when she got off from work, and that Andy would be the one to call Karen so Karen can meet up with them as well. So Andy asked Sabrina how was she able to get Bayo to give her such a large amount of money. Sabrina was like, I just asked. And Andy was like, and he said yes. He said yes. Then you put the paperwork in for Maurice to get out? Like, girl, y'all be doing the most. So Sabrina, like what you trying to say? Like, my thing is, Andy, see, this is once again, we're bringing up stuff and doing things as if you haven't done the same thing. Now, you went to Robin and asked Robin for 1.5 million to get Sabrina out. Granted, yes, you were sleeping with Robin, but that is a lot of money for you to ask somebody for somebody else. It's the same thing. I don't understand why you questioning Sabrina. Like, what you trying to say? Like, you're so much better. Like, your coochie so golden. Like, anybody'll drop that kind of money on you. Like, why would they give Sabrina the money? That's what that was given. Now, I don't know if you trying to say like maybe it's some scheme or fraud going on with Bio, but I didn't take it like that. And with your snooty behind tail, the way you dished them little flowers earlier, you think you better than everybody, so you think you feel like you the only one need to be given that kind of money. Like, how is she able to get somebody to give her that kind of money? That's how that came across. So Sabrina checked her real quick, like, you got Gary giving you Rolls Royces and all this and that. Like, what you trying to say about me? So then she tried to reel it back in, like, no, that's not what I was saying, and this and that. Like, girl. So we go over there to the salon, and Andy, she calls Karen, but of course Karen can't talk, so she's sending messages back and forth through Pam. So basically, Karen will call Andy back when she finishes what she's doing. In walks Aaron. Him and Pam, of course, they have their usual banter back and forth. And he lets Karen know he brought her lunch. We all know that Karen didn't eat her breakfast that he cooked that morning and lied and said she was going to get a smoothie. So she probably has not eaten a thing. So Aaron has to put his foot down, do what Mama Lisa told him, and let her know, look, when you finish that hair, that client, then you're going to come in here and eat your food. And that other client basically got to wait. So Karen looking at him like, yes, daddy. Like, she don't know where this little side of Aaron came from. But we know Karen has seen this side of Aaron before because he read her one good time before. But this is kind of different. I think he's just being, protective of her because he knows she didn't eat yet. That's all that is. I don't think he was really trying to be forceful like that. I think it was like a playful, I'm going to take care of you like, I'm supposed to be, you and that baby. So he tells her that he left the spoons out in the car. So he goes back out there to get the spoons. And Pam was like, I like him. And her and Karen go back and forth about why she don't have a man. And Pam talking about you got to be that to get that. I'm like, what? Like her and Andy are kind of just alike. Like, what make you think Pam can't get her a man? Like, what is like Pam supposed to equal Sabrina now? Like, you think Pam can get a man like Aaron, but you can? You just stopped talking to him all greasy because until you read them letters, because you used to talk to him like a damn dog at one point. So I don't understand what all that, you got to be that to get that, and telling Pam that's why she ain't got no man and all this and that. And another thing, when are you going to get security cameras in your shop? Why does Pam have to keep sending you footage every night? That's ridiculous. Get some security cameras, girl. So we go over there to Zach's house and someone's at the door. So he opens the door and he's like, yeah. And the guy's like, is Fatima here? He's like, who are you? Who are you? And the guy was like, does she live here? And Zach is like, well, who are you? Depends on who's asking and all this and that, all aggressive and hyped up. Like, Zach, calm down. I hate when he act like that. He does that when he's around Aaron too. Like, just calm down. He's like, oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. He was like, oh, it matters. And he was like, my name is Joey. And he was like, well, what do you want, Joey? Some mess. He's acting like a child. And the guy was like, I'm her baby's father. And Zach looked like, wait, what? And the episode ends there. So who do you guys think that Joey is to Fatima? Like, is there really a baby? Was she young when they were together and the baby got put up for adoption? Did she get pregnant and have a miscarriage, but he's still claiming to be a baby's father? Or is Joey just delusional and don't even know her? Maybe he's a stalker. I mean, I call Morris Chestnut my baby daddy. So, hey, it's possible to be, completely delusional. So, hey, it is what it is. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As usual, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.